the all-round straight screen imaging flagship. This is the newly released OPPO Find X8 Ultra. After experiencing it for a while, I think it has 5 highlights worth sharing with everyone. When recording the unboxing video, I said 2 sentences.
The texture is really nice, just like baby skin.
That's right. The first major highlight is its feel. In an ultra-large phone, it gave me a big surprise. It has a rear 5 camera setup, but the thickness of the camera module's protrusion is only 5.13 millimeters. It has a 6,100 milliamp battery, but the body thickness is 8.78 millimeters. The front has a flat screen with a right-angle middle frame, but it has a relatively rounded transition on the front and back, so when you hold it, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. So, isn't this good feeling just how it is? If you see this product at first glance, don't be fooled by its delicate appearance and think that the screen isn't that big. This guy's screen size reaches 6.82 inches. That's wrong. This is the second highlight of the Find X8 Ultra. A flat screen and all-around imaging flagship, we end. When you encounter this 6.82-inch large flat screen with 2K 120 using BOE X2 luminescent material, brightness, color, viewing angle, color accuracy, there's nothing you need to worry about. For the width of the black borders, OPPO has tried to minimize them for you. At the narrowest, they reach 1.4 millimeters, but note that it's only visually consistent on all 4 sides. However, personally, I find it completely acceptable. You can experience this front visual effect. What are your thoughts? It's worth emphasizing that it has a slight curve on all sides, which we prefer to call 2.5D. The advantage is that even if you use it without a screen protector and slide along the edge, it doesn't really dig into your hand. The third highlight I want to share is about its battery life. Snapdragon 8, a 6,100 milliamp hour battery, BOE X2 materials. Placing these 3 pieces of hardware here, my expectation for its battery life was probably just average. But after using it for a few days, brothers, I recorded some screen on time, 75% using G and 30% Wi-Fi, 2K at 120 maxed out. Under my moderate to heavy use, this guy's average screen on time can basically reach 7 hours or more. A very ridiculous thing was that the day I took the high-speed train from Zhengzhou to Wuyuan Jiangxi on a business trip, I used 5G to play high-resolution games for 3 hours on the train, and this guy's battery still had 6%. 15, so having such battery life on a super large phone is quite rare. The fourth major highlight relates to imaging, which I'm willing to call imaging innovation. Firstly, I want to set aside these boring hardware configurations, because discussing ultra-large hardware today feels quite meaningless. Many people can't even sense what's good about it. However, OPPO's approach this time is quite interesting. They have developed a single-floor true color lens. So let's start by discussing night scene portraits with everyone. I personally use the Find X8 Ultra to take many sample shots, and you can get a feel for them. But the main point I want to share with everyone is these two. Why? Let me simply show you with a screen recording. First, you see, does the current image look overall yellow? Why is that? Because I covered this true color lens with my finger. But even so, you might find that the portrait it captures at night seems quite good. At this moment when I move my finger away, how should I put it? The subject has skin tone and the background has night color. It is no longer just a single white balance. The image, whether it's warm light source or cold light source, for Find X8 Ultra's processing, indeed. Using this example to demonstrate the role of the single wavelength true color lens is very fitting, I think. Of course, OPPO's innovation in portrait mode on the X8 Ultra doesn't stop there. In the familiar portrait mode, previously, we could only tap the zoom button for 1 times, 2 times, or 3 times shooting, right? And now it's portrait mode. You can also zoom smoothly. You no longer need to move your phone back and forth with the portrait mode turned on now. We can also handle it by adjusting. Of course, besides portraits, telephoto also focuses on Wang. The telephoto macro and long distance focus functions on the X8 Ultra have a 10 centimeter telephoto macro, and its zoom capability can also be combined with AI. I won't elaborate further. At this point, someone might say, hey, aren't you going to share about this 1-inch main camera? I want to discuss it along with the Pro mode because, for me, the 23mm and 28mm are really difficult to compose with, and I can't take very attractive photos. However, OPPO made some small innovations in the Pro mode, offering several unique styles for you to choose from. At the same time, below you can see whether it's the filter intensity, soft light, tone, or saturation. Cool and warm tones, sharpness, and vignetting, you can customize all of them. And when you take photos in normal mode, 3 scenes appear below the photo: stage performance, sunset, fireworks. I particularly like this stage performance. On one hand, you can use it to take pictures at concerts, and on the other hand, for someone like me, it's extremely useful for shooting conferences. The main thing is that the picture clarity has greatly improved, which I believe should be quite evident when you watch the screen recording. Also, be aware that it can be used not only in photo mode, but also when recording video. As for video recording, which everyone is very concerned about, the Find X8 Ultra this time also brings 4K 120 video recording. However, note that only the main camera and telephoto support this. Finally, the fifth major highlight is versatility. For an image flagship, I believe these two words are very, as everyone saw earlier, whether it's the feel, battery life, screen, or imaging, this guy performs very well. But that's not all. It has ultrasonic fingerprint unlocking, which is very fast, and it has a very large linear motor. The vibration is impressive. It also has the shortcuts we discussed on the Pendix 8S, allowing you to customize various features, but I still hason. It is recommended to use the one-click flash memo because it can really act as your personal secretary. It also has a photo button and you can slide to zoom. This experience can directly refer to Pendix 8 Pro, but I don't think this button is meant for pressing, because in any scenario, shaking twice to quickly call up the camera is much more convenient than moving your finger to press. Perhaps this little operation can really be useful to you. At this point, what else might you think of? Waterproof, drop resistance, NFC, infrared remote control, 100 watts of wired fast charging, 50 watts of wireless fast charging. OPPO Pendix 8 Ultra has all of these features. Given you all the highlights, I want to emphasize the system. ColorOS 15 received a lot of praise this year, and they have been continuously launching new features, such as the new customizable thumb clipboard, stacked background, notification stack, AI flash notes, connectivity with Mac, and more. However, after using it for some time, what I want to emphasize most is that, besides being smooth enough, it is also stable enough. For an Android flagship, I believe that are very important. The end of the video. Everyone knows it's time to summarize. Often for many products, we need to emphasize value and sentiment. But for the Pendix 8 Ultra, I just need to say two words: all-rounder.